Hello and welcome to a brand new game for the channel. Today we will be playing MidBoss. Now this is a game that I've had on my wish list for a while. Had some spare cash, so I decided may as well treat myself. I've given it a couple of sort of games to get used to it. And sort of when you do that you build up death cards and things like that. So as you can see, I've had a few games. But yeah, so we're going to start a new game. I'm not going to have Graveguard goods, or grave goods. What that is when you play the game, when you die, you can basically take a good with you. So if I wanted, say, this sword, I could take it with me on my new adventure. And you can only take one item from each card, and once you've taken an item, that's it, that card can't be used again. But it's a good way of sort of building up really powerful things. So for example, on some of my journeys I was quite a good mage, so I could take some of these items with me and sort of have a really powerful starting setup, which just, it gives you a boost in the early game basically. But we're not going to take any. And with 6 slots it means that you'll use 6 cards if you want 6 items. But again, once you've used it once, you can't take anything from that item again. And once you've sort of lost this game, you can never use that card again. So it's sort of a double-edged sword of taking the items. But we're going to skip that, we're just going to go straight through. So, hey Imp, how's the rat herding business? Moan. Haha, yeah, Wimp is more like it. Hey boss, look at this jerk. I love the fact that this thing is called Mid, and he calls you boss. It's just like, okay, fair enough. That's where you got the title from. Hey, don't call Zombie a jerk, that's mean. Moan. Yeah, it's not Zombie's fault you're such a weakling. I didn't mean you. Why, you little? The heroes have come, all monsters to their stations! Oh, it's the boss. I guess it's showtime. Remember, if you abandon your station, you'll be in trouble, Wimp. Bone. Yeah, you stay here, where you belong. With the rats. Not very nice. Hey boss, I'm getting kinda tired of being bullied by the other monsters. How about you? With everyone distracted, we could finally show them who's boss. Let's start with possessing that rat over there. And this is sort of the basic game mechanic. So, hitting F1, I can sort of make this ready to become a vessel. I can sort of set it up for possession. I've then got to beat it up. And once the rat dies, I can possess it. Now, these are my base stats. I get 100% health when I possess something, or I could drain it and it'll give me a smaller health boost. But by possessing it, so the rat has a higher strength than I do, but it has a lower sorcery, for example. And different creatures will have different stat bonuses. So some of them are much stronger than me, some are much weaker, but by possessing it, I am now the rat. And the rat will have abilities that I don't have. So if we go in here, I've mastered my imp form. So the only thing my imp ever learns is possess, depossess, and imposter. But as a rat, I've got new abilities that I can learn. So the rat begins with knowing Envenom, which is basically a poison strike. And as I level the rat up, it will get new abilities. So, let's go out and explore a little. Ooh, treasure room. Now I think the very first level is pretty much the same no matter what. Its size and shape do change a little, but there'll always be sort of a treasure room and a couple of monsters for you to fight. There we go, another rat. Now I could set this up to possess, So if it poisons me or it does a lot of damage to me, I've not got any need of possessing it, but I can drain it, which will fully heal me. Now my mana is pretty low, so I can push R and rest, and that will get my mana back up so that I can then possess things again. And break all the boxes, because sometimes they have things in, just like bookshelves. They can have scrolls and books and potions and things like that. All that can become handy on your adventure. Pretty much nothing. There's a book there. Oh, and some armour. So this is my inventory. These are the books that we've just picked up. So we've got the Tome of Flame Strike and the Tome of Dive Attack. So by using these, they have a range and they have sort of a damage output. And they also have a number of charges. So if I did Tome of Dive Attack, I can only use it once. Whereas the Tome of Flame Strike I can use twice. And in different situations they can be useful. We've got an identifying scroll, which can be used for, say, this potion. So when you pick up potions, they don't tell you what they do. So they might be good for you, but then again they might be bad for you. And the only way to find out is to try them, or use an identifying scroll. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to find out what this potion is. So this is a blinding potion. So minus is 25 accuracy and it lasts for 12 turns. Not something we're too happy with, so that's just going to go down there. And I'm going to equip that plate armor. So you have a main hand, an offhand, armor, boots, and 2 accessory slots. Now, most weapons will fit in the main hand, but not in the offhand. There are a couple dual-wield weapons, and there are 1 or 2 small weapons that can fit in the offhand. You also have shields that can go in the offhand, and they'll affect your stats. But we'll get into that once we find some. Die, rat. Now, down here you can see these 2 different rings. The purple is how close I am with the form. So the higher the purple, the closer I am to leveling the ability up. And this one is my experience for my actual level. Now, when you level up, you can increase your stats in here. So violence will increase your maximum magical and physical damage. Cruelty will increase your minimum magical damage, or minimal damage. What is it? Adamancy will increase your physical and magical defense. And relentlessness will increase your HP, mana, and stamina. So they're all useful, and in different situations you want to increase different ones. Weapons room. Another armour, a shield, and an axe. Lovely. So we got some boots, we got different armours. To be honest, I'm going to stick with that armour that we've got. So this will give us a +1 to our resistance and 8% physical resistance sort of reduction. The boots give us a + toughness, so that sort of increases our physical defense. And then we've got the axe. Now the axe has just 1 number on there for the moment, but you can see where it's got like the blank space before the slash. So that is its minimum and maximum damage increase. So because of the way the axe works, it only increases your max damage. So this is my damage output, 1 to 6. By equipping the axe, it's now 2 to 8. So although it doesn't say it, it increases my minimum by 1, and it increases my maximum by 2. So it means that, and your damage is sort of a roll of the dice. There we go. So when, like, it'll roll a dice, and depending on what it chooses, it can do 2 damage all the way up to 8 damage. It then minuses off the enemy's defense, and that's how much damage you deal. So if the enemy has 20 defense and you have 20 damage, you're probably going to be dealing 1 damage every time. Yep, lovely. And let's talk to this lovely cat. Nya, I see you're finally on your way. Hey boss, be careful, something smells fishy about this cat. I do like fish, but I'm just a humble merchant. If you're so harmless, how come I hear you trade with heroes? Nobody's perfect, and profit is profit. I know you monsters don't use gold, so I'll take balls of yarn in trade instead. Look for me on the way down for some good prices. Maybe we'll just kill you instead. That would violate the non-violence clause of our verbal arrangement. When you are ready to embrace your destiny, go down the stairs next to me. Whatever happens, none will tell tales of your deeds. Well, that's nice. None will tell tales of your deeds. Boss, I really don't trust that guy. Now, the merchant shows up on every even-numbered level, and they are very useful. Oh, wow. Literally standing there. So we're going to sell, to be honest, we're going to sell most of our stuff. We don't need that potion either. Currently in the game, there is no way to throw the potions, but eventually there will be. It's something that the developers has said is on their list of things to do. Now, as you can see, we have balls of yarn as money, and the merchant does sell some decent-ish equipment, you know, depending on what you want. So there's a magic 2-handed sword of sorcery. Well, that's not actually that bad. But yeah, they'll buy all your stuff off you. You can also use them to remove curses and identify things. So, you know, if you bring all your potions, you can give him a bit of money and he'll identify stuff for you. But, to be honest, I wouldn't mind buying that Amulet of Strength. Because a +4 to Strength... now this is something else. There's our Strength at 6. Now when I plus this, it's going to give us +4. So our damage bumps up. Because our Strength is obviously a direct increase on our damage. So just by having that amulet, we're now dealing more damage, hopefully. But the merchant is a good way of sort of clearing your inventory of things, and it's always a good idea to sell anything you're not going to use to the merchant if you can manage to. Yes, I will have those boots instead, thank you. And there's an axe that... so sell those boots and equip that axe, because that axe was better than the axe I had. And although we can't equip the shield with it, I don't mind. And, oh, we cannot use the merchant to identify potions then, by the looks of it, which is slightly annoying. But as you get deeper into the dungeon, you'll find different creatures. At the moment, we're just seeing rats, but... Nice! So we just leveled up. So I am going to go with Cruelty, because we've got a decently high max damage, but our minimum damage is kind of low. Oh, well, that's not going to increase it in any way, but eventually it will. And you can see fish flying out of these boxes. That will make sense later on. So, what have we got? Oh, we've got another scroll. So what, use that to identify that potion. Oh, so that's a mana restoration. Okay, well that might be useful to us, so... the staves will increase magic damage, just the same way that the swords increase melee damage. Although you do get some staves that increase physical damage and some swords that increase melee, magic damage. It just depends. But they'll also tell you, so this one is a common two-handed weapon, that's a common main hand weapon. So even if I had, like, I wouldn't be able to put this, for example, in the second hand slot. There's only, I think it's 2 weapons that go in the second slot, and that is a wand and a dagger. Oh, we're one-shotting him at this point. Just drain it. May as well use it to just boost up our health a bit. So we've just finished, or we've just learned underfoot and scurry. So the last thing to learn from the rat is agile, I believe. And another scroll. Let's go with this potion. Okay, that's a damaged one, so that's kind of useless. Again, eventually you'll actually be able to throw the potions and stuff, which will make them much more useful. Take that, thank you, and lovely shield. Ooh, a bat. Wouldn't mind taking that thing over. Drain that of energy, thank you. I don't want to go near the bat for the minute, because I do want to level up the rat and then try and take over the bat. Ah, we've mastered the rat. Lovely. So I'm going to depossess it. And I'm then going to equip the rat. So by equipping the rat, you get some of its bonuses. You get access to all its moves that it can use, and any passive bonuses and things that it has. So if we go in here to the actual rat, you see it has 4 abilities, but it can only equip 3 of them. So I am going to swap out. Oh no, agile, because it's an innate passive. Even though it's not equipped, I get it while it's equipped to me. So I don't actually have to have it as an equipped ability, it's just one of them that is always active. So awesome. And there's some bats. Become me, bat. And picked up some, wow, looks like decent armor. Got good magic damage reduction. A little bit less physical reduction than we've already got, but it's got the endurance and resistance plus, and an unidentified plus, or an unidentified trait. So we're going to equip that. Straight away we pick up another armor. Okay. Now there are enemies in the game that obviously use magic, and there are enemies in the game that use physical strikes, so depending on what we're facing, sometimes you do want to swap the armor. Let's find out what that unidentified is. Evasion plus 6. I am quite happy with that fact. Now you don't have to explore all of the level or anything like that. What we're looking for is a stairway down. There we go, look, as I increased the cruelty, it increased our damage. Or the minimum damage. I think it also, yeah, it links to critical. Do I want to increase that, or do I want to increase like our defense? I think our defense would be a good idea. Oh, and a stairway down. Lovely. Before I go, however, I want to finish off as many enemies as I can and see if I can master the bat. Also a good opportunity to find as much loot as we can to sell to the cat. on, die. Okay, so the bat's just learned a new ability. Innocuous. Something else that we can do. In our imp form, we can have 3 forms linked to us. Whenever we're a normal creature, we can have 1 other form linked. So if I link the plague rat, I don't know if you will have noticed, but down here we got underfoot as an extra thing that popped up. Now, we don't get the innate passive, so we've not got the +2 our agility. So to be honest, I am going to swap out. I don't use Envenom very much, so I'm going to swap it out to agility. So that gives anything that equips this form gets a plus to its agility now, and it also changes our colour. And depending on what creature you have as the secondary creature, it will change your colour to all sorts of things. Oh, we've just picked up a dagger. Nice. And it's a dagger of sorcery, so it increases magic. Fair enough. Well, as we've got a full inventory, I'm going to go back to that merchant and sell off all the stuff we've got. And I passed where the merchant was, didn't I? Oh no, he's there. Sell. Now, I would have some of this equipped if it was any good, so may as well just sell through all of it. There we go. You have a buyback option with the merchant, but only for the last like 4 items, so if you do sell something by mistake, make sure you buy it back very quickly. Is there anything else you've got that we really want that's really a lot better than what we've got currently? That staff might be nice. Although we've not really got magic stuff yet, so it would be a bit pointless. We could have the magic 2-handed sword of sorcery, because although it pluses magic, it also pluses normal damage. No, for the moment, we'll leave you with that. But I think that's where I'm going to leave this episode off, guys. So next episode we'll come back and we'll probably descend a floor. So let me know if you are enjoying this. It's probably not going to be a full series, probably only going to be sort of 10-15 episodes. Just sort of a mini-series to show you what the game's like. If you guys enjoy it, then obviously we can carry it on, but it's not really my intention to have a massively long playthrough on this. But yeah, so please like, comment and subscribe, and I shall see you next time.